Welcome, viewers. This scene, we will be doing a bunch of editing. Most of it's going to be post-commentary, but more importantly, this scene is a sub-scene, as far as I'm concerned, where we will be going through the trouble of getting the gold chocobo, and therefore all of the, quote, ultimate materia. Now, what you need to do is first come here with at least 60,000 gil, and buy up all 6 of the stables. You don't have to buy up 6 of the stables, but this is how I do it. This is how I've always done it. Just come here with 60,000. Each stable costs 10,000 gil. Beyond that, the necessary amount of gil you need for the greens, the silk greens. You need 20, so 400,000 gil for the silk greens that you need. 5 will go to each of the, 5 will go to the good and great chocobo, so each one of those will get 5. That's 20 silk greens right there. Then the blue and green chocobos will take 10 of those silk greens. That's another 20, which covers the first 200. Then the black and wonderful chocobos, I normally give 20 silk greens to each of them. So that's the other 20, or that's the other 200,000 gil. It's a lot of money grinding. About 40 minutes into this scene, I'll be going to the area where I'll show you where the best money grinding on Disc 2 is. But in the meantime, let's just move on, because we have a need to capture chocobos. There's going to be a lot of editing to get these chocobos. Head on down to the middle region first. You can get these chocobos in any order you feel like, but first things first, go on and land near these chocobo tracks. I've got my choco lure up to level 4. This will allow us to run into chocobos a little bit faster. And not the right chocobo type. We need to find a to get the great chocobos, we need to find a chocobo near 1 or 2 centipede-looking enemies. They're called spinners or something like that. And they're actually fairly tough. By the end of this, by the way, viewers, Cloud's gonna be level 50. That's how much freaking grinding it takes to get the, stuff. By the way, for this section, you may want to put the battle speed down to low, because through this entire section, I am not going to be using a green to capture a chocobo, or I should say, whenever you use a green on a chocobo in battle, it'll distract them for a short time, giving you a little bit of a better chance to take out the enemies before the chocobo runs. If you take out all the enemies in a chocobo battle, you will have caught that chocobo. Now, you won't be able to keep the chocobos unless you have stables, which I have all 6, and this is the chocobo type that I was talking about. These things are weird, they look kind of like shrimps or prawns, but they're called spirals. And unfortunately, I didn't get it fast enough, but yes, this is the setup that you need to find for the great chocobos. So I'll off-screen getting the 2 from those. Transition soon. And transition. Do it now. There we go. And this is the enemy setup that you need for the good chocobos. These things are called Spincers. Just look for a battle with 2 of them. Or actually, I think you can only run into them with 2. But more importantly, I've got the good chocobo right here. I'll be getting the great and good chocobos soon enough. I actually accidentally missed one, apparently, for the goods, so yeah, to send them back to your stable, just get off and say send back to the stables. Now, I'm going to show off how to get the wonderful chocobos, and off-screen getting the last of the chocobos that I need. Wonderful chocobos can only be caught up here. As far as I know, they can only be caught up here in the ISIL area. and I actually got really lucky. Wonderful chocobos are actually exceedingly rare in this area. Like, you gotta run into them with the bunnies surrounding them. Either one or two will do. But I got really lucky and got it on my first try. And a back attack at that. All it was just a quick flare on the jumping, and there we go. I've got an automatic freaking wonderful chocobo. I win. Thank you. So yeah, gonna go on and edit once again. Oh hey, Chocomog level or mastered. Whenever you master a materia, a new materia will be born. But yeah, gonna go on and off-screen getting the last of the chocobos that I need, and fail because I actually missed a good chocobo. Yeah, so now that I've got these chocobos, go on and fly over here to the Chocobo Sage's house and buy up as many silk greens as you possibly can. At the moment I can only buy 40, but at the moment I only need 40. In total you need about 80 silk greens, which comes out to a total of 400,000 gil. It's a lot, but getting Knights of the Round Table this early in the game is extremely useful. Now, the first time you talk to him, he forgot his name. You could ask him, what about chocobos? And throughout the game, he'll give you hints as to how to make the golden chocobo. But I already know how to, so I'm not going to bother doing that. Like, his hints are extremely vague. It's much better just to use a guide, or even much better, use a Let's Play, because guides aren't very specific. Also in the ISOL area, you will be able to run into enemies that you gotta steal carbo nuts from. I'll show them off in just a second too. But more importantly, we need to head back to the Choco Stables. There they are. Now, this section's going to be a little bit odd because, like I said, I've got live commentary about 40 minutes in, and that'll last for, I think, about 20 minutes, something like that. But for the sections that I had to do heavy editing in, as in this section and the section after the scene that I did, or the section that I did live commentary in, this is when I noticed that, ah shit, I missed one. So I gotta run in and find out. Now, for some reason the game is glitched. In order to do anything other than mating chocobos, you need to have your control set to normal, or at least have the confirm set on circle. Now then, something to note. First off, like I said, set it back to normal. You also want to save before coming in here, because we're gonna want. Now, I didn't save and actually got really freaking lucky, but we got our good chocobo here, which turns out to be male. Go on and just name him Choco. Then pull in a great chocobo, name it Choco G, just that way I can keep track of which chocobos are which. Easily enough anyways. Then we got the great chocobos, and yeah, I missed one good chocobo. I'll be going back to that in just a second. Put that in, and it turned out to be female, which is awesome. I don't have to try to get the female great anymore. When it comes down to the breeding, I'll explain it once I get to that section. But for now, we got to move stuff in. Next will be actually got really lucky, and this was a male great chocobo, which means all I need left is a female good chocobo, and I'm set. And I'm not going to move my wonderful chocobo in until I've got the good chocobo. So yeah, edit until I find the another chocobo of good status. There it goes. I've already got the good chocobo here. I'm just showing off the enemy sets that you need, or the enemies that you need to run into get the carbo and zeo nuts. You need 3 carbo nuts and 1 zeo nut for this scene in order to get the great chocobo. These guys, like I stated earlier, you can learn the level 4 suicide from them. It's kind of annoying to get them to actually use it without manipulating, since I'm not going to be doing any enemy skill, or I'm going to do the enemy skill mop-up at the end of the Let's Play. I just think we probably to get the level 4 suicide at the moment. Yeah, I want to go on and re-increase that because I no longer have to worry about catching chocobos. Once you have 2 greats, 2 goods, and 1 wonderful, that is all the chocobo catching you will have to do. Chocobo racing, on the other hand, is a completely different story. Let's see, you need to get the goods and greats up to rank B, so that's 3 races apiece, 3 times 4, 12, so breed them together to get the blue and green, get them up to A rank, that's 6 races apiece, 12, so 24. Then breed those guys together to get the black chocobo, raise the black and wonderful chocobo up to S rank, which is 9 more races apiece. That's a lot of chocobo races you have to do. And it's a lot. Okay, these are the guys that I was talking about. You steal, or you can kill them to get it, but they have an insane amount of HP, so it's really not worth killing them once you steal the, Nope, I tried to manipulate, and I had a derp moment. Yes, viewers, I got derp and had Sid Cloud, or Sid has Bolt 2 on Yuki. Derp. But like I was saying, once you get the carbo nut, just run, because this guy doesn't drop good XP or AP. Once you get the carbo nuts, just run. And I already got the other 2 carbo nuts I needed, so I've got 3 carbo nuts now. Next up is getting the zeo nut, which is a lot easier to get than getting the carbo nut. So let's hazardous to your health. And more importantly, just to show it off here, I've got my 3 carbo nuts. You can get more carbo nuts and sell them for actually a fairly nice price, but it's not as good as the area that I'll be money grinding in very shortly. More importantly, come over here to Goblin Island and just run around in this forest area. Eventually you'll run into a goblin, 2 goblins, 3 goblins, or extremely rare, the Goblin Captain. All of the Goblin and the Goblin Captain can drop or seal the zeo nuts. But I ran into 3 goblins. And there is actually an enemy skill you can learn from these guys, the Goblin Punch. And if it weren't for the fact that Sid did learn the enemy skill for Goblin Punch, I wouldn't have even bothered finishing this fight. Oh, I mean, you. Yeah, I moved the enemy skill around so freaking much, it's not even funny. Didn't even notice that I got the zeo nuts. But, yeah. These guys can be rather irksome, because they can put people to sleep, but either way, once you got your zeo nut, you can run if you want to. I'd say stay in fight until you learn the, there's that zeo nut. And, you know what, fuck it, let's just Bahamut their ass. Now this scene will actually be getting 2 new summon materias, which is actually